Fargo. He's got an overweight rating and a $220 price target on Nvidia. Aaron, what's it going to take to get this stock to move up that 6%, you think? And how do the China restrictions and some of the softening of those factor in?
Yeah, thanks, John, for having me. So, we like the Nvidia story. So I think as we look at this, it's all about the durability of demand, the visibility they see going forward. Obviously, the China discussion is front and center, given all the news and the flow around the H20. And I think on that China debate is, what are they seeing in the China customer base? Are the halts in China that have been widely reported, taking effect? And then I think over time, where do we go beyond the H20? Do we have a B20, a B30, and successive generations that they expect to sell into that important market? As a reminder, that was $8 billion of a headwind this last quarter, and I think the expectation is that starts to come back, over these next couple of quarters and certainly into next calendar year.
How much of that China benefit is already priced in, given how the stock has risen after the Trump administration eased up?
Yeah, I think from a multiple basis, we're comfortable on this name. I still think this is obviously a platform story, hard to compete with the breadth and depth of their product portfolio. So trading at a kind of mid to high 20 multiple on our calendar 27 estimates still looks attractive to us. I think as we look forward, we have seen estimates move higher. We've seen, for example, calendar 26 estimates have moved up by about $9 billion plus on a revenue basis. So I think some of this is getting factored in. I think it's just addressing those demand dynamics that they see going forward and the sustainability of this demand as we look into calendar 26 at this point.
Given what we heard over the rest of earnings season previous to this from the hyperscalers talking at Amazon, Microsoft, Google about their infrastructure plans, and really particularly from AWS about their supply constraints, what kind of commentary could we get from Nvidia that sheds light on what they're prepared to deliver there and what we're seeing from demand that could make a difference and incrementally inform investors?
Yeah, I think from an Nvidia perspective, important to remember, they only guide one quarter out. So they're not going to have a defined guide looking forward. So the qualitative commentary comes to that visibility shaping. When do they see or how do they see the supply dynamics playing out? Can we read into some of the metrics around what they're seeing on inventory builds and, also purchase commitments as a forward indicator looking beyond just this current quarter? To your point, cloud CapEx, when we look in aggregate, we saw about a 25% increase in cloud CapEx for the calendar 26 estimate. So now the debate starts to shift out even into 27. And, I think that's where just the kind of the demand profile looking out beyond this next quarter is going to be important. And you get into sovereign AI, enterprise AI adoption around agentic, and just the longer tail opportunities for Nvidia going forward, I think is what people would really be focused on.
Expect to hear anything about competition?
Yeah, AMD is highly debated, right? Also, internal silicon efforts at the hyperscalers. I think that'll be a topic of discussion. But, I think we're going to come out of this earnings sprint continuing to view Nvidia as the dominant provider of these GPUs. And again, as I mentioned, like sovereign AI and some of these enterprise opportunities are still largely in front of us.